we've got it down to a science. I mean, it's like a pseudoscience, like a third grade science, but it's still down to a science. You know,
It's like remedial science.
pretty much. Yeah, yeah.
Gotcha.
It's like not algebra because that's math. That's how
Yeah,
bad at science
it's
we are.
applied math.
Yeah,
Exactly. Hmm.
it's science 101.
Mm-hmm.
We're still trying to figure out the difference between a solid and a liquid. You know, don't even bring vapor into this shit. All right, we're not there.
You have to
That's
go
the
for
point.
2 days a week, but there is no lab day.
Exactly. Welcome back to the Storymoders podcast. My name is Robert. Mike is here, and we are joined by a very, 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 very special guest, the one and only Tooniversal. Hi, Tooniversal.
Gentlemen, thanks for having me here. I appreciate it.
Now,
Thank
do
you
you
for
prefer?
taking time out of your interstellar commute to join us. We
Yeah,
appreciate
yes.
that.
Yeah, thanks for giving us a call from the ship, from the stars. Now,
Absolutely.
Tooniversal, Toon, how Mr. Versal, Mr. Iversal, how should we?
So the name Tooniversal is meant to be more of a summary of a group of people, more than just about me as a person. So while I am sort of the head of the community that I've created or been a part of creating, I go by Toon.
Toon, cool.
Dude, all right.
Yeah, I saw. I had your YouTube pulled up, and it says Toon. So I was like, I wonder if that's. Yeah, but I've been following you on Twitch for years now. It's definitely been years. More than likely came in with a Scruffy raid.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Scruffy 23 is great.
Yeah, mutual homie Scruffy 23. I started following him because I started getting back into 76 after being away for a little bit, and then just followed.
Uh-huh.
That's when I learned about what Twitch was. So I was like, what is this thing? Watching people play video games, and now that's all I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, hanging out with Scruffy, and he probably dropped a raid on you, or he talked about you, or you dropped a raid on him, or came in or something. And yeah. So for those who don't know, Toon, if you want to kind of give the people a summary a bit about yourself, we've got a lot of our watchers and listeners are kind of funny best friends from that community, so they might not have a grasp of just who you might be. So if you want to introduce yourself better than I could.
My name is Toon, and my broadcasts are driven by a very energetic and positive personality, very unique themes, comedic themes, and just trying to find ways to help people get through their Monday through Friday grind, starting at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. And it's all about creating positivity, and it's all about just trying to provide an entertaining source for people who are getting through their workday.
Yeah, and he fucking kills it. I know I start work at like 8:30 in the morning. I'm supposed to start work at 8:30, so I start work at like 10. And then, typically that's when, Toon is streaming, so I can hop into the stream there, and then it's a great way to start your day, honestly. It's a lot of energy for that early. I will be honest. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm waking up, but then again, you've probably been awake for hours. But yeah, a great high energy way to start your day. And it's not all just 76. I mean, a lot of Bethesda. We'll be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is Bethesda kind of your go-to?
I still don't really consider myself a gamer. I consider myself just a creative or a content creator. But Bethesda's games, I've dabbled in a lot of things, but I think for the longest time, I just drank the Bethesda Kool-Aid, and I kind of stay in my lane with Bethesda games because I know what I'm getting, and I've just loved their games for the majority of my life.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, that Bethesda Kool-Aid, it's a good flavor.
It is.
I'll be honest. That Fallout juice, it sounds gross, actually. Never mind.
Really, yeah.
That's not a good term.
Fallout juice tastes like dirty water.
Yeah. Well, before we jump into too much, Mike, it's been almost 2 weeks since we spoke because we recorded last week's episode super early because last week was my spouse's birthday and we hung out and we had a good time.
Yeah. Good.
So how have you been?
We've been okay. We've moved the Series S into the living room, so that's been fun. And he's been watching me play Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
Oh, God.
He's been enjoying that.
The best.
And then also watching me very inebriated try and string together a couple of good lines in Car X Drift. So
Nice.
you're seeing both
nice.
the peak and the valley of video game experiences.
Hell yeah. How much are you liking Claire Obscure?
I am loving it,
Yeah.
and yeah, I have no shame in saying that I am playing on like the narrative difficulty.
Are you playing on
Like
story mode?
there it is. Well, it's been a great episode, Toon. Thanks for joining us.
All right. We can close it down now.
Yep.
That's what the
yeah,
story
no,
mode in
it's-
Storymoders refers to as easy mode for people who suck at games.
Yeah. Somebody who has an hour commute each way and then has to work 8 hours, so don't have a lot of time.
Oh man.
But yeah, I'm enjoying it. She is enjoying it. Yeah, so that's been good. Streaming's been all right. We are a little bit closer to our goal, my fundraising goal for Encircle, a local LGBTQ charity. We're
Hell
still
yes.
at $15, but hey,
Yeah.
you didn't know that. You listeners didn't know that.
Hey, we've got our Pride merch line up on storymoders.com and all the proceeds from that. It says half of all proceeds, but that was just to cover a little bit left of the rebrand that we had. But all the proceeds going forward are going to Encircle. So buy all the shirts. I know our friend Danielle Z bought a shirt. I got my shirt, but I wore it the other day and it's in the dirty clothes. So I'm wearing
I get it.
a Deathclaw shirt. Also, I figured this was probably a better thing for Toon here,
We're on brand, yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, and Send Nuggies got a shirt too, so
Yes.
whenever the two of you get your shirts, fucking please post pictures with them, and everybody else, storymotors.com, got a big old line, kind of anything you want. I have been busy, I should have been busy playing this thing a little bit more.
Switch OLED.
No, the Switch 2.
2.
Yeah, it's not an OLED. Trust me,
Oh.
that's been a major source of contention. Is that okay? Good. That's
It's fine.
not backwards on screen. Okay. I got this, and it's great.
Uh-huh.
Don't get me wrong. And then I thought, oh man, well, the first night I couldn't install Mario Kart 2 or Mario Kart World, because there was a thing with my download code. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try out this Blue Prince thing on Xbox, and have not been able to play anything else
Yeah.
until last night when I got to Room 46, and now I'm going to jump back into this. I'm going to play some Yakuza 0, the director's cut, because it has an English dub now, which, as we all know, dub, superior to sub, That's a statement that I'll make.
I popped the DVD in to watch, not to read.
Exactly. If I want to read, I don't. But
Says your friend with a terabyte hard drive, half of which is in Japanese.
yeah, but you don't need to read those stories, bud.
Ah.
It's all visual. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. But yeah, I just wanted to catch up with Mike. It's been a while.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. So Toon, how are you doing this fine? It's evening for you. It's kind of evening for us too. It's 7:00.
It's evening for everybody here, I
It's
think.
for sure evening.
Yeah.
I'm doing well, just winding down and hopping on for a little chat with you guys.
Hell
Nice.
yes. There's better ways to end your night, but we appreciate that you're here.
Yeah.
Are there?
100%. Yeah, you could be fucking playing any video game. So I mean, but I do want to kind of jump into what you said there a minute ago. It's you don't consider yourself a gamer, more of just like a creator, which is not a bad thing. So is it with the Bethesda games? We all know that there's some jank, but then there's also a huge like library and community around modding and kind of making content. So is that more of what you're drawn to as a creator / kind of gamer? Is that what draws your eye to a game to try to play?
Not necessarily, no. I feel like gaming right now is just the background for which I create content, right? So it's like it could be anything behind me, but right now I choose gaming because I do like games. Games bring people together, and that's one of the reasons why I do love it. But I mean, I've done other creative endeavors too. It's like I still love songwriting. I've got a jingle that I hopefully I'm going to get paid for. That's out there too. So I write
Right.
short stories. I want to write novels. I want to write scripts. So
Yeah.
right now in this season of life, gaming and creating content around gaming is my source of creativity right now.
God damn.
Yeah.
Like, once again, like I look at your streams and I see you just like crushing it, like killing it in 76 and just having a great time. And I would it sounds weird because creating and gaming, especially with what you do, are intertwined with you playing 76 and kind of what you do. Yeah, it's kind of weird to hear. Yeah, I'm not really a gamer. I love doing this, and this is the backdrop to me creating. And I'm not. This isn't a bad thing, but I think I might view your streams a little bit different with that kind of mindset, because now it's like, okay, I get now. There's all the characters and there's the stories and there's your streams aren't just, hey, we're playing 76, come hang out in 76. Like what is it? Nuka and Afraid. Is it? Am I getting that name right?
You're correct.
Yeah, you've done a bunch of like different community hangs that aren't just playing the game. It's like Nuka and Afraid. Hey, drink Nuka, and there's like the almost competition there.
There is, yeah.
Yeah. So where does your mind go with these kind of different ideas for 76? Are there things that you've wanted to do that you're not able to do? Do you have other ideas maybe coming down the line, or do you just kind of play in the playground and you're like, this would be fun, let's do something here?
Yeah, I think it's letting the content unfold and seeing what Bethesda comes out with and thinking about, okay, how can I take this and make it my own, or how can I take this and make something unique with it? Because that's what's great about Bethesda games as well. With their open world content, it really is a sandbox and it allows you to really create your own experiences. And I feel like in a lot of these games, like the stories that we tell other people are not necessarily the stories that we experience within the game, but they're the stories that we create ourselves within this game. And it's like, it's not just about playing it. It's like, how did I play it? And I think that is something that's important that goes into the Bethesda games and makes them special. It's the stories we share about our experiences rather than the stories that they're telling.
Yeah. And I mean, Mike and I, both massive Fallout guys. I love. I'm a junkie for Bethesda games too. You know what I mean? Like, except for the Oblivion remake, I haven't touched that. I don't know why. It's been installed since day one. Yeah,
it's good.
But like I installed it, and then Claire Obscure came out, and I played that nonstop. And then right after that was done, I don't know. It was like fucking crime scene cleaner. I forget. Time is a meaningless concept. But I've had the Oblivion remake on deck. Just haven't jumped into it. So, but Mike,
Yo.
Mike, how much 76 have you done?
When me and you were playing it, we a ton of it, but that was the last time I fired it up.
Really?
Yeah, it's been a hot minute. I've been playing way more Fallout 4 and New Vegas. So
yeah, New Vegas. God damn. Finally works on PC after all the mods in the world. So
after I had to download 1,000 stability mods, so it won't crash every 5 minutes.
Oh man.
Gotta love it.
So Toon, let's just talk about 76 for a bit more, just because it's a phenomenal game. Yeah. I mean, I love it. So were you already playing 76 when you started, like, creating the content around it, or which came first?
So I'm really actually late to the Fallout franchise when it comes to the games. I started streaming in 2018 on not a whim, but a friend encouraging me to, like, he's like, hey, like, you've got this personality, you like games, you like people, and game streaming seems to be something that would fit your skill set. And I was like, all right, I'll just do it. Never even seen a live stream. So when I started doing it, I was able to. I got an Xbox One. It was just me and my Xbox One S. And I picked up. I finally knew. I knew about Fallout 3. I knew about Fallout 4 in New Vegas, but I'd never been able to play them. So that was one of the first games I started streaming early in my career. Was Fallout 4, and then Todd Howard announces at E3 in 2018 that Fallout 76 is coming. It's going to be a multiplayer experience, and so Fallout 76 was really my Fallout that I have been a part of since day one as a creator.
Oh, hell yeah!
Nice.
It's Fallout 76. You know, from the community has gotten a lot of what's the term? Shit. You know, from the overall Fallout community, especially at launch, you know, for those people who had played the Fallout games beforehand, specifically 3 and 4, you know, with the open, you know, that big old open world and talking to these NPCs and doing this and this. 76 comes out. Obviously, remember, there's no NPCs. All the story is pretty much just on holotapes and computer terminals and the occasional robot, you know, kind of running around the world. But it's cool. So it's great that was kind of your first that's your first entryway into, hey, I'm jumping in day one, and it's 76, and now this is my entry point. Not necessarily entry point, but you know what I'm trying to say here. I hope so.
Yeah.
But what is it that's kept you in 76?
76 first and foremost is about people. It's about a community, and it's about people, and the people are passionate, the people are dynamic, the people are wonderful, and I think that's what keeps creators like me going, is because there's always new people coming in and wanting to experience Fallout, and Fallout 76 is such an accessible way for people to get involved with Fallout, because you can play it with other people if you choose to, and there's more benefits to play it with other people. So I just love the accessibility, and I love that, you know, I could be there day one to help point people in that direction.
Yeah, and I think I was looking through, I was scrolling through your Instagram pictures. That sounds creepy, I know, but
It's
I
public,
saw,
you know,
yeah,
liking stuff from
you know,
2013.
you know, just liking
public.
old things, because why not? But I was scrolling through because I was looking for something about like just kind of like the Nuke It and Afraid and stuff and everything, so just kind of scrolling mindlessly, and I saw a screenshot that you posted from, I believe, like the Xbox app of the 76 beta.
Probably was. I think that was probably for either the 5th anniversary, probably the 5th anniversary of Fallout. I did post a picture of the beta, and I think that particular date with that particular photo was the date that the beta launched, which would have been sometime in October.
Yeah, the break everything. Oh God, I forget what they made it stand for, but yeah, I remember playing 76 in that beta, and I'm a big old Fallout nerd. That's the thing from 4. It's the poster from the 76 big collector's edition, which the box is on the ground somewhere. That helmet is too fucking unruly to put on any shelf.
It's great.
It's massive.
It's great, though.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I wear it when I have to do like work meetings from home. I'll pop it on,
Sure,
and then just put like headphones underneath, and then just be like, "Why you guys sound muffled? That's weird."
Or just, you know, put it on during an interview too, and you know,
Wow.
Start talking like this, you know,
Jesus
and really get into it.
I mean, now you just sound like an alien overlord.
Sorry, would this be better? I think that's more like it right there.
There we go. That's better. Yeah,
There it is.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I just had the wrong vocal effect there, but you get the point.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but 76 it's so good. For those people who, if you tried it when it first came out and you're like, this is awful, there's nobody here, I can't talk to, like, there's no NPCs, it sucks. That was 17 years ago. You guys, get over it. There's NPCs now. There's full-on storylines. There's multiple storylines now in the game. And it is just a fun time. And like, I'm going to echo what you said. The community in 76 is unlike any other community out there. Like, the fact that there's so many stories of people who are like, I bought 76 because it was on sale. I did this thing in the vault, and I walked out, and as I'm walking out, there's a level 500 person standing there, and they just drop something in front of me, and oh my god, it's armor, and it's ammo, and it's stim packs, and it's all this stuff. And so many stories of the Fallout 76 community just like being like, hey, you're new, fuck it, come follow me. Here's a bunch of, what do you want? You want weapons? Here's some weapons. You want ammo? Here's some ammo. You want this? And just being the most helpful community. And you are, I mean, you are a massive part of that community. And to the point where you're doing stuff with Bethesda. And like with the game, not just, hey, I'm a creator doing seven. Like, you've been noticed and working with Bethesda. How did any of that? I saw what was the most recent one you interviewed with. Are you talking to, like, I think Bill and then John Rush?
It was Bill Lacoste and John Rush. Bill Lacoste is the lead producer over Fallout 76, and John Rush is the creative director.
Yeah. How did that come to be? Like,
I mean, I've built a relationship with Bethesda over the years of being a creator and being a positive person for their game. You end up becoming this. It's hard to explain, but like you're this pseudo extension of marketing for them. Like, you know, if people see a particular person having a good time, other people might want to also experience that good time. So I think they realized early on the importance of creative, positive people being involved with the business and helping to promote that positivity across multiple platforms beyond Twitch.
Yep.
But yeah, where was that going? I was going somewhere with that. I was going somewhere.
Yeah, like, with that. So you were building up the relationship, and then you end up with
yeah. So it gets to the point where they're just like, you know, hey, what do you want to do? I'm like, all right, well, here's my wish list. One is I want to do an interview with, you know, some of the developers. Two, I want to go on Bethesda channel, stream Fallout 76. Todd Howard and I are playing together, and he accidentally slips the location of Elder Scrolls 6, and it's the best stream ever, you know.
Just a couple things. Things. You know,
one little things.
You know, it escalated quickly, but you know, it's my nature to escalate things.
I get it. Yeah, it's. I think I missed that interview when it was happening, but once again, trolling through the Instagram.
It was recorded, so you wouldn't have seen it live anywhere.
Yeah. So but I you know, saw it on there, and I was like, wait, I know John Rush. I wasn't. Bill Lacoste was a name that was unfamiliar to me.
He's also becoming more of that. John and Bill are kind of the faces from the dev side for Fallout 76.
Yeah, and text them and just be like, hey, y'all are killing it. This random gaming podcast, Storymoders, says you guys are killing it.
You know, they read the stuff in the Discords and the suggestion boxes. Like they try to stay connected with the community as much as like their boundaries will allow them, I believe.
Yeah, obviously. Oh man. So what? Talk to us about like the Nuke It and Afraid and kind of the almost the competitions and stuff that you've come up with. Are those? What specific? Let's talk about like the Nuke It and Afraid. Where did the idea for that come from? Was it Naked and Afraid? And you're like, I feel like this could be a cool thing for the game, or like for like a stream or something, or.
So I didn't invent the Nuka Shine run, but Nuka Shine runs have been out since Nuka Shine was created. So basically, like, you know, you drink a Nuka Shine, you race back to a point, and you know the first person to get to that point this many times wins.
Yeah. And
I was with Kenny Vigu, who is the creator of Chat of Fallout 76 podcast and the founder of Fallout for Hope. We were doing a charity thing for Fallout for Hope. It was probably like 2021 or so, and we did a Nuka Shine run. And I was disappointed that the chat and the viewers didn't have more influence over what was going on. Mm-hmm. So that's when I came up with Nuke It and Afraid. I wanted the viewers to feel like they had skin in the game and that they could influence the race by their voting and seeing the runners randomly sponsored or punished. So I wanted people to feel like that they're not just watching something, but they're a part of it and they're experiencing it alongside us.
Yeah. And what kind of for those who haven't seen anything, what kind of, because honestly what you're describing is the Hunger Games.
Sort of.
Yeah.
But,
so like
less
where
violence.
less? Are you sure? Have you
Well,
seen the
the
grafted
players aren't
monster?
trying to. They aren't trying to kill each other.
It's not
Okay, that's
PvP, it's PvE.
Yeah,
It's more like
Yeah.
it's more like a large gladiatorial arena, and stuff just comes at you randomly.
So what sort of punishments and or rewards is chat able to vote on? Do you kind of like do you move those in and out anytime you do them, or?
So I wanted to add the element of randomness to it as well, and chance. So basically, chat votes for one of the 4 contestants to have the chance to be sponsored or punished. We then spin a wheel, and it lands on either sponsorship or punishment or punish all. And the punishments can be anything from go back to this point go backwards to the nearest workshop and pick up a piece of junk and take it to the finish line. It could be a positive thing, like use any weapon you want for the duration of this particular run until you reach the finish line. So there's all sorts of different things, and I've even themed them differently with like Christmas themes or Thanksgiving themes or Halloween themes, and tried to make it seasonal and ever changing, so it always feels fresh whenever you're watching it.
Yeah. And how you can say this? It's a safe space. How much do you rig it in the favor of one streamer or another?
It's all random. I mean, we do have my friend Wreck-It Renee. She has probably been the most decorated, but she's also the most competitive of anybody else. So like she makes the way to win often, and there's really the only thing you can do is spec your special points out a certain way to have like more agility, for more endurance, or for more like action points for sprinting.
Mm-hmm.
But perk cards are turned off during Nuke It and Afraid. When Custom Worlds came out with Fallout 76, it allowed us to really customize the experience of the runners. So there's no perk cards. It's just simply like your gun, and your underwear, and a prayer, pretty much.
Yeah, Wreck-It Renee, that's another name that I've heard once again from Scruffy. Like, and I just I'm bringing that up because it just shows like how kind of connected the overall Fallout 76 community is. It's very large. It's a big community for 76, but the people who are there are so friendly that you get introduced to so many more creators and so many more players by following just one. So if you're not following any 76 creator, like follow Tooniversal, twitch.tv/Tooniversal, and you'll hear about all these other incredible creators that are making up just cool shit and playing the game and just having a good time and leading their communities to make, the Appalachian Wasteland a great place. As great as it can be with it being it's still a wasteland.
It's still a wasteland, but there's that element of redemption in any of the Fallout games. I think we want to believe that humanity would be a part of redeeming a nuclear apocalyptic wasteland. But I think what we end up seeing is that everybody just does the same thing they were doing before, which is trying to kill each other.
Yeah.
So nothing really. We don't learn anything from our mistakes.
That's the funny thing about 76. And I don't know if once again, you kind of said this was one of you knew about the series before 76, but this is kind of your first day one thing. It felt like what Bethesda wanted when 76 came out was, hey, there's no NPCs, players are going to make the stories, and players are going to be the raiders, and players are going to be the bosses, and players are going to be killing each other all over the place because they're trying to take over. And then very quickly, they realized, no. Players are meeting each other in the world and giving each other stim packs and making weapons for each other and building this and just working together. And credit to Bethesda, it seems like they very quickly started to pivot towards, oh wait, this is what you're doing? You're not bloodthirsty animals like we've made every other character in the Fallout series? You want to help each other and hang out? Cool. Here's all this stuff to build with people and the public teams with the perks to help you raise your XP and everything. And you know what, Toon? I'm going to say it. I think it's all because of you.
I don't think so.
No, 100%. 100%.
I mean, hey, a big shout out to all of the role playing groups out there too. They could have gone that direction, Shout out to like the responders. There's so many different enclave or Brotherhood of Steel divisions, and like those RP groups are also such a part of the core of what Fallout 76 is about. And even though they didn't quite go that route of allowing you to be sort of whoever you wanted to be in the wasteland, those RP groups are still very, very important to the Fallout community.
Yeah, yeah. Totally. Just I'm trying to hype you up. But I understand, I played in the beta, and then I played for maybe 2 or 3 months after launch, and at that point I was just kind of playing by myself. I did the whole storyline solo for the most part, because you can, you still can too. You can play the game solo. I essentially played it as a Fallout 5, or a Fallout 0.
Yeah. Which you can do that, yeah.
Yeah. I think technically Fallout 0 because it happens earliest in the timeline.
It is the first game of the series technically.
Yeah. So I did the whole thing kind of solo and then dropped off because I was like, well, I've done everything in the story.
Mm-hmm.
And then a while later found, once again, I saw Scruffy online, and I was on Twitch. I think I don't even know where it came from, but I was watching something on Twitch, and then they ended up rating this streamer called Kismet. I don't know if you know who Kismet is.
Familiar.
Yeah. And he, the what is the Wasteland Tycoon. And I was watching more Fallout stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, this game is, I remember, playing this game and having a good time, and then I found Scruffy during the day, and led me to you, and led me to another friend of ours, Gemini. I don't know if you know that name.
I do
know
Gemini too.
Yeah, Gemini, yeah. And Wreck-It Renee, and was it Real, I want to say Eleonora from
Eleonora.
Germany.
Yeah. She actually makes mods for Skyrim and Fallout 4 as well. And that's how she makes her living now.
That's how she makes her living?
That's cool.
She essentially works with Creation, which is the official modding store or front for Bethesda games.
Oh hell, because I know I've seen. I saw at least 1 or 2 of her things in Starfield.
Yes, she has Starfield as well now.
Yeah. God, I love Starfield. Pivot. Let's talk Starfield. So.
Sure.
You've played Starfield? I know you've had some streams. Did that pull you in as much as Fallout did?
No, unfortunately not. I think it had potential to do that, but it just didn't quite scratch that itch that Elder Scrolls and Fallout does. But that's not to say that I didn't enjoy it. It just and I will still certainly support it and stream the DLCs whenever they come out, because the last DLC was actually really fun, and I enjoyed that story.
Shattered Space.
Mm-hmm. It was with the House of Varun, and just getting to know more about them and see what they're about was really, really cool. But it just didn't quite pull me in. I think what it needed was a little bit more No Man's Sky, and a little bit more Fallout 4 Skyrim with multiple actual endings instead of just sort of going back through and repeating the same stuff over and over again. But let us go back through the story again, but let us have, you've got all these people that are involved in Constellation. Like, let us take and have a different ending with each one of those people.
Yeah. It seemed, don't get me wrong, I love Starfield. Played it, I think I went through the Unity, I'm on like Life 10.
Okay, so like new game plus 10 then.
New game plus 10. But once again, full spoilers for Starfield for those of you who haven't played it and still want to. I don't know who's out there that's there. But the end of the game, you go through the thing called the Unity, and then that's essentially your New Game Plus. So that kicks you back out to the very beginning of the world, and you're in a brand new world, but you keep, New Game Plus, so you have all of your XP and everything. But the way that they do it, I think, is one of the best New Game Pluses, is that it's not just, hey, we're starting at the beginning, but you're strong. It is, you're starting at the beginning of the world, but your character knows what you've already done.
Mm-hmm.
And you can kind of use that. So you have the option early on in that New Game Plus run to either say, hey, yeah, let's do everything brand new again. I don't know what's going on. Or essentially just own up right at the beginning. Hey, here's the fact, boom, boom, boom. and then you can essentially cut out most of the game and then go through that Unity again if you want to. Which I did that like maybe 5 times because I was trying to. I think I was trying to just find a specific
universe thing.
seed world. Yeah, universe seed world thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Starfield. There is a new creation DLC. I don't know if you saw it. Watchtower.
I think I have heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, that came out a couple weeks ago, and it's insane. Actually, like once again going into like the creation of the fans. This is it's a whole DLC sized thing, like Shattered Space. It's got all this lore. It's got brand new functionality. You can actually have like a fleet as you're flying through space, and you can have a fleet of ships following you for space battles. And the freedom that Bethesda gives creators is unrivaled.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a stretch to say.
Yeah, they really are supportive of their modding community, and they want people to work on modding their games.
Yeah. I think the only, at least for me, the only thing I've seen where Bethesda's been like, hey, you can't do that, was there was like a Fallout 3. There's a team remaking Fallout 3 in Fallout 4.
Yes.
And then but their plan was to like take the audio and everything from 3 and use it in the mod, and Bethesda's like, nah, you can't do that. You know.
Yeah, there's like licensing issues then
Yeah.
with using intellectual property like that.
Yeah. It's like we paid Liam Neeson once. We can't.
Yeah, right.
We
yeah,
can't-
you can't adopt him.
We got him before Taken, and now he's
Yes.
it's way up here. You know.
Now he's taking 6. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Now he's Naked Gun. Actually, that's coming
He
out.
can do Liam Neeson can do anything.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
Liam Neeson. There's a Naked Gun requel because it's like a reboot sequel technically.
Okay.
Comes out August 1st. I see Mike looking it up now.
Yeah.
He can
Yeah,
be
Liam
Qui-Gon.
Neeson's-
He can be
He can be
Naked
Qui-Gon.
Gun. He can do anything.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Liam
Neeson's-
Anderson's also in it.
Yeah. The first trailer for that, like side note, the first trailer for that is fucking hilarious. Obviously it's Naked Gun, so it's a comedy. But
Yeah.
yeah, watch that trailer, everyone. The trailer for the Naked Gun reboot. And there's a part right at the end of that trailer that is just hilarious. But I'll just say all the characters in it in the precinct are the children of the characters from the original Naked Gun movie.
Oh my gosh, that's brilliant.
And I don't know if you all remember who the cops were in the Naked Gun movie. But one was played
Oh,
by
boy.
O.J. Simpson. So
That's right.
One Orenthal James.
one Orenthal James Simpson.
Oh boy.
All right. So Toon, what? And I can cut this out if you'd like me to. You mentioned before we started recording, you're a tennis instructor.
Yeah, that's my other job.
How? Like the gaming content creator and the sports guy, like the tennis creator. How do you have time? When do you instruct tennis? Because you're streaming
Usually-
early in the morning.
Yeah, so all my clients are afternoon clients. So it's all adults. I don't coach any juniors anymore. Just focus on adult teaching because adults are a lot more flexible with all the work from home that's going on. And that's tennis instruction is something I've done for almost 20 years as a professional instructor. And I've worked at the academy level. I've worked as an independent, and I've been on my own as a freelance instructor since COVID, really.
Oh wow.
Back in the freelance world.
Yeah. Can I and if you like once again, if you don't want to dive too much into it, I know that's not the gaming thing. Did you grow up playing tennis? Did you play professionally at all, like any sort of level? Or are you just like, you know what, I get it. I'm good. I'm good enough to teach people. I don't need to play against people because I'll just beat them. So I'm going to teach people to be as good as I am.
Well, those who can't play teach, they say.
Yeah, I was about to say.
My dad played college tennis and taught me and my brothers how to play at a very young age, and played high school tennis. And a few years out of high school, my dad taught lessons on the weekends to kids in the community, and was really the only person doing that. So I would be a part of his camps and everything, and then it led to me as I got into high school being more on the instruction side and a helper as opposed to being just a part of it as a player, and then it's something I decided I want to do in more of a capacity is to step into being a professional. And one thing led to another, and I had a full-time job as and then working for a company as a traveling tennis instructor, and learned a lot along the way. And then when I got into being a part of an academy, I think I learned more in that time than I learned in my entire life, because you're working around people who have played tennis at the highest level, collegiate, high level juniors, and you're learning from them. You're absorbing all this thing like a sponge, and then you're learning to apply those things that you learn as well through the course of just being in the vicinity of these people and soaking up their knowledge, because there's a wealth of it to be gained. And I think what sets me apart is anybody can teach you how to play. I try to also make my instruction and my lessons very entertaining as well.
Yeah.
A lot of sarcasm. The ladies I coach are just like, they're ready for the insults whenever they come, and they take it, and it just I think being an instructor made me more witty too, because those women who play tennis, they will eat you alive if you show any sign of not being confident or not looking like you know what you're doing. So you have to have a comeback for their comeback, or they're gonna dismiss you. So you learn to adapt, and you learn to get very quick witted and have a comeback for them, because it really is about the experience. Like you're not just giving them instruction on how to be a better player, but you're also like having fun with them and allowing them to have fun within the context of your lesson.
Oh, damn. Yeah. So I mean, it sounds like you've kind of probably taken lessons from the tennis instruction and maybe brought it to your streams, and then vice versa. That'd be
A little bit of that, yeah. I think it's, again, like tennis is about people too, and being an instructor is about people. It's about engaging with people and finding ways that are effective to communicate with people, both verbal and nonverbal. So I think a lot of those communication skills do come into play as a content creator in the live space.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, and I'm just picturing, I'm picturing your stream, persona teaching me how to play tennis. And
yeah, the stream persona is a lot nicer than the
really
coach Toon. Yeah, a lot nicer. Okay. I might say something like, how are you better at playing blackjack than you are at playing tennis? Like, what are you even doing out here? Like, I would say something like that to my clients. Like, have you thought about horseshoes? That's a sport you could play too. So it's a lot of berating the clients, but it's all in fun, and they understand it, and it's all love. So
I would cry if I was like trying to learn, even if I was at a level where I know the basics, and I'm trying, and they're just like, "Hey, maybe play horseshoes." I'd be like, "I'm trying, coach. It's pickleball. I don't get it."
Are you trying?
Not really. Look, I'm tired all the time. All right. Oh man. All right. I was just so. The tennis instructor is just not. I honestly was like, what does he do for a living? Just this.
I mean, this is the main source now, but
okay.
Daddy likes to have multiple hands and multiple pots, to keep stirring them and making that money. You can't have your one income stream. You got to have multiple streams. So that's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. So back to Fallout. We're going to talk a little bit Fallout, and then I want to talk Fallout for Hope specifically.
Okay, sure, absolutely.
A bit of time for that, but just Fallout. Did you watch the show?
Yeah, I actually had the privilege of working alongside Amazon and Bethesda, Amazon, and Twitch to broadcast amongst a few other creators the first episode live on Twitch.
Oh,
and then I did watch the entire series as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And what are your thoughts?
I like it. I mean,
no, be as rude as you can. Tell us how awful it is.
I mean, they, there's always going to be some issues when you have another entity taking license for what you've made and then finding ways to make it their own. But I feel like with Todd Howard as one of the executive producers, they really did a pretty good job of keeping in line with the lore and giving us some backdrop for some things that may have been a little bit fuzzy within the lore that we do know about Fallout. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the characters. I enjoyed the narrative. I enjoyed learning more about Vault Tech and just how nasty they are. And it was just, I thought that was just fascinating. I love the way they did that.
So I'm gonna tee you up for something,
Tee it
and
up.
then we're gonna run a quick ad for our own podcast because we made it and we're trying to get it out there a bit. And then we'll come back and we'll talk Fallout for Hope. Do you have any theories on Season 2? And what have your connections in Bethesda told you about Season 2?
Well, first of all, Bethesda does not know anything about what Amazon is doing because it's strictly Amazon's. I mean, I'm sure like Todd and some of the other higher directors would have some input and knowledge, but I mean, you're gonna see some of that precursor to New Vegas. You're gonna see Mr. House. You're gonna see more of New Vegas itself, and you're gonna see how some of those things transpire, and eventually, years and years later, lead into the story of Fallout New Vegas.
Of me beating you to beating Mr. House to death with a golf club.
You can do whatever you want in New Vegas. It's Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Just
what
watching
in New Vegas is televised.
Yeah.
On Amazon Prime.
What happens in New Vegas stays in the vault at the Lucky 38, where the body of Mr. House will be in forever. After Mike beats it.
With a solitary 3-wood.
Yeah.
Beside him.
Yeah.
And blood.
Mike, what are your theories for Season 2?
Oh,
we did a whole breakdown of Season 1 that was supposed to be one episode of this podcast, turned into 5. Because the time that we had to talk about the whole season, we ended up getting through one episode, and we're like, we're going to have to stretch this out a few episodes.
And that's okay.
Ended up being fine. I love it. So good. I think with, Mr. House being who he is, I think we might see a little bit more of some of the other conglomerates that we saw in that last scene around the conference table. I think we're going to get, I think in some of the flashbacks, we're going to see a little bit more of that, like, oh, well, what did Robco actually want to do? Like, what were some of the horrific experiments that they carried out on people before, Mr. House turned himself into jerky and buried himself under the Vegas Strip. I think, man, I have not actually thought about any theories. I'm just excited.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just
starts in December.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of hope we go into a little bit more at like the Brotherhood, like see more about like the Brotherhood and the Enclave and just kind of that weird like shift in power, and then the Brotherhood just being like, yeah, we're some dudes in a bunker at this point, doing a shit ton better than the Enclave. It's just like 6 old dudes. Yeah. So,
just 6 old dudes and a robot president.
Mm-hmm. All hail President
voiced by
Brock
Malcolm
AI.
McDowell. Great voice, though.
Amazing.
Great voice.
The voice casting's always been good.
Yeah.
Liam
Neeson's, Malcolm McDowell, Chandler, Matthew Perry. Forgot the name there for a sec.
I was about to say, like, are we doing a bit here? Or
Nope. Forgot his name for a second. Yeah. Now, one more question about the show. Because you said, you're thinking we're gonna hear more about, like, obviously the whole thing right at the end of Season 1 is them walking up to New Vegas, and they've told us they're going to be doing that in New Vegas. Do we think we're going to see a lot of Mr. House in, like, the flashbacks, or is it more of just what Vault Tech is doing in Las Vegas at that time? Or do you think Mr. House is going to be a major player in Season 2? In flashbacks, obviously, at least, or even in depending on the canon ending, I guess, of New Vegas.
Yeah. I don't know. I do hope. I mean, Mr. House has been pulling the strings in Vegas for God knows how many centuries.
Yeah.
So it would be. I feel it would be a huge miss if if they're just like, oh yeah, and this crispy looking fella here who smells of teriyaki. That's Mr. House. I am
He's
going to
here.
run the. I'm gonna run the he's jerky thing into the ground.
It's fine.
So, and then
fine.
dig it up and do it again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it would be a miss if they didn't go more into like, okay, well, who's the guy pulling the strings? What the hell is this? Why did somehow Vegas avoid becoming yet another very, glassy part of the American Southwest?
Yeah.
So they have to do something with him.
Yeah.
And if they don't, it's just like, okay, then allow me. Show me what you got.
Oh man, I'm so excited for season 2. But yeah, let's run a quick ad for us.
Us.
Don't worry about it. And yeah, we're gonna talk about Fallout for Hope and all that fun stuff after we come back. I'm Robert.
I'm Mike.
We're the Storymoders. We're two friends who love gaming.
So we started a podcast.
We talk gaming.
Games we like.
Games we don't.
Lists related to games. Gaming. Sometimes we have kick-ass guests.
Streamers.
Filmmakers. Emmy winners.
Just the one so far.
We get them all.
So, if you like gaming, check out the Storymoders podcast.
New episodes every Thursday on YouTube,
Spotify,
Apple Podcasts,
and wherever you get your podcasts. And we're back. That's a fun commercial that Mike and I recorded over a month and a half. That's why it feels so disjointed and terrible, because we were drunk as we recorded all those different pieces. But we're back. We're back. And yeah, once again, I want to talk about Fallout for Hope because it's incredible. One of the most recent things you did, you went down to one of the hospitals and you were kind of You were kind of like the head, not the head of it, but kind of representing Fallout for Hope with St. Jude.
Well, we went to Memphis to be a part of the St. Jude campus. So they have a summit every year, and they invite creators from all over the world, really, who raise money for St. Jude. And we get to tour the campus. We get to connect with other creators. We get to hear stories from survivors who have come through St. Jude, and just learn more about what we're doing as far as fundraising goes for them. It was wonderful to be able to see where people's money is going, and just what a fantastic and really well-rounded organization it is in caring for these children with these life-threatening illnesses, caring for their families and the parents of these children, and all at no cost to them, and also ongoing care throughout their lives to see just how the treatments they are receiving are treating their bodies even into much later in life.
Yeah. So for those who don't know what Fallout for Hope is, it's essentially it's a fundraising drive, and a very great one, with a ton of most, if not all, like the Fallout 76 creators that we've been talking about. I believe are part of it. I know Scruffy is. I'm almost positive Gemini is. I've got a good feeling that Tooniversal is. But it's December is kind of the big thing, right? Because I know last year I did a stream for Fallout for. I did my own Fallout for Hope stream, and I think I raised, I want to say like 500, which is a very small amount of the amount that they've raised, which is almost $500,000 at this point.
There's no small amount. Everything matters. Every dollar counts. Never downplay the amount you've raised. It's incredible. Yeah,
but the Fallout for Hope, all the money goes towards St. Jude Children's Hospital, or Children's Research, I think is what it's referred to.
Children's Research Hospital.
Yes.
Children's Research Hospital.
All the money actually goes there. It's not a completionist thing. Okay. So I'm gonna call that out because it's a shitty thing to do. But how did you get involved more in because once again, I signed up to stream for Fallout for Hope, and that's kind of where my limit is. And obviously, you were sent out once again as kind of a representative to Memphis to the St. Jude thing. You know, how have you kind of, because you didn't help start Fallout for Hope. Or am I
No.
incorrect? That was Ken from Chad.
Yeah.
the Fallout
Kenny
76 podcast.
Vigu is the founder of it. He got me involved very early as a creative and as just another voice for the Fallout community, and eventually brought me on as more of a core staff member of the Fallout for Hope campaign.
Yeah, and do you do anything outside of this, obviously the Memphis thing and streaming? Do you kind of do your fundraising all year? Do you have a really big thing planned this year for kind of December? Do you have something going on?
So we're gonna see really the soft launch of Fallout for Hope is gonna be around Fallout Day, which is October 23rd, the day the bombs fell in Fallout the Fallout universe.
Yep.
So
The day Vault
so
Tech
they're
dropped
gonna
the
have
bombs,
kind of
we get it. Yeah, we know.
well, or China, or Modus, or the U.S. government. That's a fun conspiracy theory.
You know what?
Rabbit hole to go down.
Luxembourg.
It was Nova Scotia, actually.
Yeah. Yep.
Was the one who launched the
Been
bombs.
quiet for years.
Yep. They've been
Be
quiet for
independent.
years, just hanging out there in Canada and not bothering anybody. They got nukes, folks.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. That's the thing. They don't have nukes. They've just connected to everyone else's nukes.
They're really good with their hacking skills.
Yeah. Cracked it. Anyway, more important things. Fallout for Hope, soft launch.
Yes, October 23rd will be around that time, and again, it's going to run until the end of the year, essentially. So creators, all creators are welcome of any size. It's all about bringing the awareness to St. Jude and raising money for them. Every dollar counts. Every dollar matters. And we'll wrap up, at the end of the year. And we'll have a lot of different creators doing a lot of different things. Like, it doesn't have to be just playing a Fallout game. It could be a Fallout cooking stream. It can be so many different things. However people feel about getting creative, as long as, we're all working to that common goal of bringing life-saving research and treatments to these children and their families.
Mm-hmm. And these children can grow up, be like, what saved your life? I don't know, somebody in Fallout 76 running around in his underwear. I don't understand it. That's just my mom and dad told me.
Saint Jude Play Live, which is their fundraising wing that utilizes live content creators and beyond the game and the gaming spectrum also. They are just wonderful and very supportive of what we do, and the families and the children know that. They know that there are gamers and streamers out there who are fundraising to make a difference for them in their lives.
Yeah, I signed up on the St. Jude site for Fallout for Hope last year, and then this came in the mail for me this year.
They love sending stuff.
Yeah, I'm afraid to open this more because there's just confetti.
There's a lot of that packing stuff in there, so just be careful. You'll never get it out of everything.
We're gonna do it.
Oh, hey!
Yeah.
Look at
A
that.
child should die.
How
in
long
the
it
dawn of
takes
life.
you? How long does it take you to find the hip hop air horn button in there?
Is that big red button?
Oh, there's no
There
batteries.
it is. Well,
Is that it?
well,
Is that it?
That is it. It
I don't
makes
have
some
any.
sound.
There's no batteries. There's no batteries in it.
It's 2 AAA.
Two triple. Okay.
Look at that. Stylish shades.
This became an unboxing podcast
did.
really quickly, which doesn't really fit the audio format very well, but
Yeah, no. Everybody,
to be fair,
check out the video.
Yeah, to be
on
fair,
YouTube.
what are these sticker sheets you got in there?
Yeah, googly eyes.
Holographic. Hell yeah.
Sticker sheets.
We could all use more googly eyes, some
Pin.
holographic stickers.
Yeah.
I keep my
Ooh,
googly
love a good
eyes.
pin.
Also,
Ooh.
googly eyes make great ASMR.
Oh God.
Wow, this interview is taking all sorts of different directions.
This is taking a
someone just-
turn.
Someone just came. The fuck? It's
A pipe?
No, it's a squirrel head and then squirrel hands.
Whoa!
So you put those on your fingers, you can make little squirrels.
Yeah. Cool.
I honestly haven't gone through most of this stuff. Ooh, marker. And then yeah, there's like the kind of the fundraising board, all that fun stuff.
Hell yeah.
I felt bad getting this because I wasn't planning on doing a stream until like the end of the year, but I'm gonna hold on to this until then.
All right.
They have those sitting around in a warehouse somewhere, and they love to give that stuff out to creators.
Do they?
So.
Oh,
Yeah, absolutely.
promo material? Are you kidding me? That was half of my job when I worked at my last company. Just putting together boxes for influencers and people who said they'd go out and promote stuff. So,
Yeah.
Great. But yeah, no, they love giving that stuff out, and they love it when you wear it and post about it.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. So, Toon, do you have any special plans for this year's?
You know, going to the summit, we learned a lot about what the developers of some of the assets that the St. Jude Play Live team is making on the St. Jude end, and there's just some really fun stuff. You can check it out if you look for St. Jude Play Live assets or like a St. Jude Play Live kit. If you search for it, you should come up with it. And there's just there's a plethora of fun, engaging ways. One thing that I may do is have a situation where like there would be like a hard cap, but like people can donate, and every donation adds like a certain amount of time onto a clock, and eventually that clock could work its way all the way up to like, for me, would be maybe like 12 hours we could do and keep it going, and as people donated, they could reach that cap of 12 hours.
Yeah, just to kind of keep the stream going and
Or and keep the money going too.
Yeah, keep the money going. Obviously, yeah, that's the most important thing. Yeah, like we said, the summit on the picture, it was just shy of $500,000, and I feel like this year gonna blow past that $500,000 mark.
Yeah, where I think last I checked, it's probably in the 485, 490 range, and yeah, we're gonna get to the $500,000 mark, which is just incredible to think about, and it's because of all of these creators coming together from with their love for Fallout and other Bethesda games too. It's not just limited to Fallout anymore. Like, we want Elder Scrolls in, we want Elder Scrolls Online to be involved. You know, it's all under that umbrella of bringing these life-saving treatments and help for these families who come through the doors of St. Jude.
Yeah, and how has it, and I'm not sure if I've seen anything, or maybe it's just like they've been together so much. How is Bethesda kind of backing this? Are they at least helping get the word out? At least
no, they're not. They don't have any official.
Yeah, I know nothing
there,
official,
you know?
but you know.
But they do support it with you know, we're going to be raising money. Last year was the first year we got to do it, but on Fallout Day last year, we raised money for St. Jude on that day on Bethesda's channel. So I can say that they are very, very supportive in with the ways that they can be supportive, and they do a great job of what they are allowed to do. And it's a corporation, essentially. It's Microsoft, and you know, there's still limitations on how they can be involved with these things. So, but they have been a great asset to us as creators and for Fallout for Hope in general.
Yeah. Now, and I'm wondering if I'm thinking of two different things here. So, last Fallout Day, is that the stream they did where they were kind of announcing all of the ghoul, like the ghoul update that was coming out and everything, and then like almost a second part of that was like a Fallout for Hope stream with you guys?
It all runs together. I believe that ghoul deal was before that live stream for Fallout for Hope, but it all just kind of runs together. But yeah, I think there was some sort of an announcement then.
Yeah.
About playable ghouls.
Yeah, I remember,
and just other things too.
Oh, now I feel like an asshole because I forget her name. One of the community managers.
Finster, Jessica
Yes.
Jessica Finster was she's sort of one of the senior community managers for Bethesda, and yeah, she got transformed into a ghoul
throughout the stream. I feel like, especially after watching that, I felt like such a piece of shit in December because I went to the Game Awards. Just because I wanted to go to the Game Awards because it was awesome, and we were at like the kind of the after party where everybody goes to after the awards, and I saw her with Todd Howard, and it was that thing where like I'm like, oh my god, it's Todd Howard, and then I knew her face. I've seen her on streams 100 times. Could not remember her name for the life of me because in my mind I'm like, oh shit, it's Todd Howard. And he's so much shorter than I thought he was. But oh my god, it's Todd Howard. And because I wanted to be like, thank you for everything that you do for 76, but I didn't want to go up and be like, hey, you know, like
Chief.
Chief.
Hey, Scout.
But she obviously has no idea that anything happened in my mind. But for me, I'm like, this person she works in the 76 community, you know, she's very, very outwardly facing, and she's super, super incredible, like super nice and everything, and I've seen her do a few different things in the community. It's great. But I was just like, oh my god, it's Todd Howard, though. Look at him. Look at him. It's Todd Howard. He's so short. But I got a picture with him, and he was cool. But yeah, I felt like an asshole, because I think right after I got a picture with Todd Howard and everything, I was like, thank you. And I just like pulled up my phone and I was like, I know that she was in the last thing. And I found what her name was and everything. By that point, they were both gone. So,
of course.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
So, yeah, I wanted to say, hey, thank you for everything. And thank you for being super cool and everything. But yeah, the fact that Bethesda has been able to, as much as they can, like you said, get behind this Fallout for Hope, be like, hey, guys, look at this. They're raising money, and it's an incredible thing that they're doing. And you and everybody that's streaming for it, not just you, but everybody else, is just raising so much money and bringing so much awareness to St. Jude. It's incredible. And I felt, as silly as it sounds, I felt honored being able to do kind of, once again, my small part to play some games, raise a bit of money for St. Jude.
Yeah, and you should. It should. Everybody has value, and everybody is valued that is a part of this wonderful opportunity to raise money for St. Jude.
Yeah. So I'm thinking your stream this year for Fallout for Hope, we're gonna get you to a 72-hour stream. Right.
Okay. Right.
12 different iterations of Nuke It and Afraid.
Okay.
During that 72 hours.
Of course.
And then if we unlock the next 24 hours, you're doing the whole stream in your underwear, right? Is that?
Okay.
Can we announce that now?
That's not a terms of service violation for sure, and it sounds good to me. I mean, why not?
Hey, you know what? Twitch
I don't need sleep.
Twitch is awful. You know, you've got male nipples. You're fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fine with that.
But we digress.
Yeah, we do. The other thing, and are you going to this? There's and I don't know if it's the same, if it's Ken kind of doing it as well. The Fallout kind of meetups in Good Springs.
There's the Pioneer Saloon meetup that's happening, and it's going to be like bigger than anything we've ever seen. I think thousands of people are going to show up there, and they may be trying to spread it out a little bit this year. But no, I'm going to GCX in July.
For those who don't know, that is the Kendrick Lamar thing to listen to. GNX. I don't know.
Yep.
So GCX was founded by a few of the larger creators who kind of live in the Florida area, and it's all about raising money for St. Jude. So we are taking over. We'll be at Universal Studios.
Yes, honestly, that's what I was thinking of. Was the Universal Studios like the big Fallout? I thought those two were connected. They're not at all.
Is what connected?
The GCX and then the Pioneer Saloon. I kind of thought those were obviously different sides of the country, but
not connected. There will be a Fallout presence at GCX this year. It's also been leaked, and it's out now that there will be a presence for Fallout later at the Horror Nights, also at Universal.
Halloween Horror Nights. There's going to be a Fallout thing.
that's been leaked now, and I don't know all the details about that either. But there's going to be some really, really cool stuff coming to GCX, and it's all about raising money for St. Jude. It's how it started, and there's going to be a lot of creators there. There's going to be a lot of booths there. It's going to be a lot of opportunities to meet people there who are familiar faces and voices that you may have heard from the Fallout universe.
Yeah. So GCX, when is that again?
It is it is end of July, so it's that last Thursday in July, I believe. I can give you the dates on my handy dandy device here. It's the 24th through the 26th. It's Friday the 25th and Saturday the 26th. Those are the 2 days it's going to be. I get there on the 24th, but I'll be there around the Fallout for Hope booth, helping out Ken and just supporting St. Jude in any way that I can.
Had a bit of that beer foam in my mustache. So what can so that is going to be at Universal Studios in Florida, Orlando.
It'll be that actual part will be at one of the at a resort, I believe, in a convention area.
Okay.
But and if you are a creator, there is going to be a VIP party actually in Universal Studios on Saturday evening. And I think if you've raised $5,000 more as a creator, you can get a creator pass, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And the park's going to be ours, and be hanging out and riding rides, and all for St. Jude.
So, and I'm gonna kind of press you for just more information, because as someone who has just seen the posts about it, okay, that's me, not you, me. So is the actual GCX event, if I'm just wanting to show up as a Fallout fan, and I just want to kind of show up and hang out with everybody kind of putting it on, do I have to get a Universal Studios ticket, or is this kind of outside of that?
This is outside of that. So the actual convention part is not inside of Universal Studios.
Okay.
I can't remember the exact resort, but you can get. I think it may be. Let me get the website for you. I believe it's gcxevent.com. Maybe that's what it is.
And if you could do me a favor, send me that link over either Discord or Twitter. I'm going to put it in the show description. Yeah.
So you go to gcxevent.com. We'll give you all the information you need about how you can get a ticket to go and experience it, and all the information is going to be there, and it's more exhaustive and better than anything I could describe. But we got to hang out with the GCX guys, that core knit team at St. Jude, the St. Jude Summit, and I can tell you those guys are genuine, and they are wonderful, and they're all about bringing awareness and bringing an end to these diseases that affect these children. It's awesome.
Yeah. And it's like I said, when just as me seeing the post about it, I was under the assumption that this was in Universal Studios. So it's very good to know that if I were to go, and obviously I'm in Salt Lake City, Utah, a flight to Florida it's a lot of goddamn money. Plus it's Florida, but not having to actually then get that Universal Studios ticket is a big plus. That's just one thing that I wanted to make clear for anybody that might be in the area, or if you can get to Florida for GCX over there, it's gonna be fun as hell. And I'm gonna be jealous looking at any pictures and videos of everybody that's going. I'm gonna be like, fuck, I wish that I could have gone. And I know that already.
And for all the correct information, please go to gcxevent.com and learn all about it.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun ass time. So yeah, that is gcxevent.com. Go there, get all the information. Go there if you can make it out there. Go hang out, donate to St. Jude, and if you can't go, just donate to St. Jude.
There you go.
Yep.
I think that's easy enough.
Love
right?
it. Yeah.
Right? Am I right, guys? High five. There's nobody there. I'm acting. I'm an actor.
There was something here. There was something over there.
Okay, there was something there for him. There was something.
All right.
Yes, there was.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a little space dust. I had to get off there.
Okay. Oh. Yeah, how is that? What's the gas mileage in that thing there, bud?
It's been going pretty solid for the last 5 years. So I don't ask questions. It's very low maintenance. I don't really ask questions. It just keeps going and going. There may be 5 Energizer bunnies back there actually propelling this thing
Just going fucking crazy.
on the drums.
Just off their tits on the drums.
Mm-hmm.
Just nuts. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. So to kind of start winding down here, Toon. Let's go through the entire Fallout timeline. So, the bombs dropped. No, I'm just kidding. That'd be insane. I think we did that once, actually. No, we did that for Mass Effect, and we went through the entire Mass Effect timeline up until the first Mass Effect game.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
I'm sure, yeah.
There's a lot. So, as, kind of wrapping up and kind of go back around, let me ask you this. What do you, as somebody who plays 76 all the time, almost daily, if not daily, what do you want to see come to Fallout 76? Pie in the sky, anything that you could have.
I want to, I would love to go back to the DMV, go back to the DC, Maryland, Virginia area and get an expedition or something that's a little bit more explorable, go and get the Capital Wasteland in there. I think that would be great. In some capacity. These live service games, what drives them is interesting content that's challenging and gives good rewards. And I think no matter how that takes place, as long as it's fun, as long as it gives good rewards, people are going to keep playing it. So we need, more story content. I think we're going to see more of that coming in. I think the current fishing situation, I think it's more than meets the eye. I think there's going to be a lot more to unfold and unpack within the fishing update now. That's going to come later in an update later in the year, I hope. And, again, it's just about getting those fun rewards, finding new ways to play, new engaging enemies, new engaging stories that are interesting and help to flesh out the world of Fallout even more. That's what I really want from this game. And it's going to help with the longevity of it. It's going to keep Bethesda, making money from the Atomic Shop and from people who get into the game and Fallout first. And the more people that are playing it, the more people that are spending money, the more content we're going to get. So keep doing that for Fallout 76, everybody. Keep spending your money and keep supporting the developers who are working tirelessly to make this game such an amazing game and an amazing experience for everybody.
Yeah, and obviously, watch Tooniversal on Twitch. You constantly you've got Atom points, like Atom Shop point giveaways. I see that.
We used to, but we don't do that anymore, unfortunately.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Used to.
Those are fun though.
Yeah. Now I'm watching your. We've had your stream up the whole time, and this is a more recent one with the fishing update. And I haven't tried the fishing yet because I didn't realize that they added fishing because I'm an idiot.
It's okay.
Because I saw the name Gone Fission, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a pun. Apparently no, there's a whole fishing thing now. It's both.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So what are you thinking about this fishing? Like, how is the mechanic working for you? Do you enjoy it? I've watched you kind of do a few different like casts and everything.
I think it's fine. I think that was kind of the next thing is Fallout 76 is this. It's not an MMO, but it is a light MMO in some ways. And fishing is certainly a part of other massive multiplayer games. So why not bring it to Fallout? So I think what they did is they took the fishing MMO situation and still made it feel very Fallout at the same time. So I think they did a good job with it. Maybe a lot of fans of the series would want to see more of a robust content release than just fishing. But like I said, I think this is going to be unpacked. We don't even have the roadmap for the rest of the year yet. We only have the roadmap for June and July.
Oh shit, do we?
Yeah, so August, September, October, we don't have anything for that yet. So maybe look out for something to play off of with the fishing here. And there's something maybe more going on behind the scenes. I don't have any inside info. I don't know anything.
I was going to say that sounds very much like a, what? Just keep your eyes peeled, guys.
Yeah. But I think you should keep your eyes peeled because there's got to be more to fishing than just catching fish and going after these local legends, which are like the harder fish to catch.
Yeah.
There's going to be more to it. I think fishing is going to evolve and give rewards and be able to collect new fish, and there's a lot to build on with the fishing mechanic and the fishing mini game, I believe.
Yeah. And this, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the first like kind of real new mechanic they've added.
I mean, unless you want to consider the ghoul a mechanic or the ghoul the ghoul play style, a new mechanic, because there are nuances to that
$100%,
require upkeep and everything. So, new mini game for sure. Like you got the lock picking mini game, you've got the hacking mini game with the terminals. Like this is sort of in that vein, I would say, is another little mini game within the game, essentially.
Yeah. But I think like the ghoul is more of like a way that you kind of play, and then it's more of like you can't go here now because you're a ghoul and they're assholes. And then there's the upkeep and the getting radiated to get the buffs and not all that stuff. But as far as actual gameplay and like a new thing that they have to do, like and make a whole new control scheme for, I feel like this is the first one that they've done, and you're not wrong. It would be kind of weird if they're like, hey, here's fishing, and now here's all this other new stuff that we're doing, and this whole storyline, everything else. But there's fishing. It's over here. But yeah, I kind of see where you're coming from. That this could very well be a precursor to maybe something bigger coming, down the pipeline.
I think if you release fishing alongside some other big story mode, that it just dilutes both, honestly. And it splits the attention from media and from other sources who would be talking about it. It sort of divides it. So I think having fishing being the part of this season, more story, more areas to explore coming soon, hopefully.
Yeah. Maybe just make like an excursion or something, or an expedition that is just, hey, we're going somewhere to fish.
Good, yeah.
Go to Far Harbor. We're hundreds some odd years. Go to Far Harbor.
In the water.
Ask not what Far Harbor can do for you. Ask what you can do for Far Harbor.
Exactly. You go there. Obviously, we're hundreds of years before 100+ years before the events of Fallout 4. Far Harbor it's a fucking port. It's a fishing thing. So
it's there.
It's there. It's easy.
It hasn't gone anywhere either.
No. Like it just popped up in the last 200 years. No, it's there.
I mean, I could go get some, but we could also go to DC and get some Mirelurk crab cakes. That sounds really good to me too.
Yeah, but like if you go to DC, you want to go to DC. I think that would be a disappointment for fans.
You think so? You think that?
Like, well, I think if it's just, hey, you're going to this part of DC to fish.
Not to fish. I'm talking about something completely different.
No. That's what I'm saying. Like, if it is this is a whole DLC and like this is a whole expansion going to DC and there's fishing, fuck yes. But if it is, hey, you can go to DC and fish in this one small area, that would be a disappointment. You'd be like, no, I want keep doing it. I want to keep going.
I got to say, I've always wanted to fish in front of the Lincoln Memorial in the pool. So, let me live my dreams here.
You know what? I'm not going to yuck your yum.
And you get the Potomac. You get the Potomac literally right there. Lots of strange fish in the Potomac right there.
But I want. It's almost frustrating seeing all of the expansions for Elder Scrolls Online. And seeing them go to all these areas from like the older Elder Scrolls games, and you're like, 76, you have the ability to go to DC, to go to all these other areas and show us. You can make your own stuff. This is 100+ years before those games happened. What's going on in DC right now?
So 2 reasons. I think you don't see Fallout 76 going the route of Elder Scrolls Online is one, because of money. ZOS, ZeniMax Online Studios, who makes it, has a lot more resources and has a lot more manpower also driving all of these things. So that's the 2 reasons why you don't see Fallout getting a more robust. They got a small team that's working on it. It's not a massive massive endeavor. And whereas you see ZeniMax Online has, that's what they do. All they do is Elder Scrolls Online. So that's their thing.
Yeah.
So they have a lot more resources and people that can go towards working on those new things as well.
I didn't know that.
But that's the thing, though, right? I mean, I think the Elder Scrolls Online does set a very good precedent for what a content rollouts could look like. And they made some changes recently to how their seasons work and everything. But I think that I would like to see more of that with Fallout. But they're limited. They're limited with their team. They're limited with their resources. And Zosh is just printing money over there with Elder Scrolls Online. Have you seen the cost of a crown pack? It ain't cheap.
Did I fast forward that much through this? Wow.
I think we watched the whole broadcast during this presentation here today.
I think I jumped into I thought I jumped in like 20 minutes in. But that's probably a good sign. Let's pop back just to the three of us. And we can get wrapped up here. Mike, before we let our guest Toon kind of tell us about where he's at. Where can we find you? What are you streaming this week and or next week? What are the plans?
This week probably more Expedition 33 and Cyberpunk. So always a fun time. Mm-hmm. Seeing as how I may or may not have painted myself into a couple of corners in Cyberpunk. See how I can get out of that one.
Oh, tip guns.
I mean, who needs courage when you have a gun?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Find the streams over at twitch.tv/nerding4beginners. I try to stream twice a week. The days are entirely up to me, and honestly, I don't know when I'm going to stream until the morning of. So, check me out on Facebook, Instagram, and Blue Sky. On Facebook and Instagram, it is at nerding4beginners, and over on Blue Sky, it is nfbofficial.bluesky.app.
Yeah, we still gotta get that figured out for Storymoders. By figured out, I have to do it.
Yeah, you got to do that one.
That's on me.
It's all right. It's all right. But that is where I post all of the things saying that I'm going to be streaming and at what time. And there are a lot of shit posts, but that's how I promote this stuff. Just poorly cobbled together memes. So.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Twitch.tv/Mr_Hawks182. I'll stream whenever I go live. I don't know. I might post a video on the Storymoders thing. I played the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4 demo and recorded it, and then I got mad because I couldn't play as the Doomslayer because of a fuck up by Activision. So that might go up on our YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, youtube.com/@StorymodersPod is where you're going to find us here, and that's the most important thing. But Toon, where can people find you? What are you working on? What's your schedule? You've actually got all this stuff sorted. You're a professional. You're an adult. We're not.
So you can catch me Monday through Friday over at twitch.tv/Tooniversal, starting at 8:30 a.m. Eastern and going into the afternoon, helping you to get through your workday. You can search for Tooniversal everywhere and you'll find me. You can go to tooniversal.tv and learn more about what we do on my channel, learn more about what I am doing as a creator. And I'm really trying to go to TikTok. I want to get the kids are into the TikToks, so it's Tooniversal TV. Tooniversal TV over on the TikToks, and like it, comment on my videos, and let's try to beat the algorithm over there.
I saw this on the Instagram. I'm assuming it's also on the TikTok because it was that kind of format. And it was it caught me because it was Limp Bizkit's Rollin'.
Was it one of my videos?
It was one of your videos, and it was like the drop, the Enclave drop, just rolling down the hill.
Yeah, it just kept going and going, and it wasn't stopping, and it had a lot of momentum, and it was great. Smoking, there was red smoke coming out of it. It was having a great time rolling away from me and not allowing me to catch it.
Yeah.
I just want your contents, but no, it said no. It had other ideas.
Follow Tooniversal. Once again, a lot of our followers, viewers, listeners are kind of funny best friends. So I'm hoping that we can get you at least a couple of follows here. But Tooniversal over on Twitch, on TikTok, obviously. But every morning he goes live before Kind of Funny Games Daily. So it's going to be a great thing to watch to get the hype up, to get your energy up before KFGD, and He's just a great guy. Toon, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining us. I know we tried to get you on last year, and it was probably during like the height of the Fallout for Hope stuff, so it was a bad time there. That was on me. But thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thank you both for having me. I appreciate both of you.
All right, brother. Good night.
Good to be in here.
Bye.
Dizzy.